What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Alignment Football, and today's video is finally going to be the review on the Jordan 6 custom football cleats made for me by 309KICKS. Again, they will be linked down below. Okay, so to start out, like I said, these are custom cleats made by 309KICKS. Basically what he did for me is he completely blacked the cleat out. He threw the LF logo on the back, and then he also made the Jordan logo green as well. As far as customizing the cleats even further, I might do that myself for another video later down in the future. I have a couple more ideas to add on to it that I think will really help it out. But as far as being custom, the cleats colorway is custom. The cleat itself is not a custom cleat. These aren't like a one-off cleat that you can't ever buy like a Jordan 6 cleat ever again. A lot of players in the NFL do wear these Jordan 6 cleats. Having said that, though, it is still really tricky to find these. You can't buy these retail right now per se, so you can't go into like a Dick's or Sport Check, whatever, and just like pick up a pair of these cleats because they are pretty hard to come by. The one place you can pick them up is on eBay, and you'll see between $50 and $100 for these. So they're actually not a bad price although you're actually getting an Air Jordan cleat, which is really sick. You're actually getting it for a really, really good price. So just go to eBay, type in basically, Jordan 6 football cleat, and there should be some stuff that pops up. Okay, so I'm going to review these like I do every other cleat. So I'm going to do fit and comfort, we're going to do durability, the weight, and the traction of the cleat. So to start off the fit and comfort, there's a couple things I want to go through with you guys first. But to do that, let's zoom in a little bit so that way you can see what I'm actually talking about. Okay, so let's just get this guy over here for a sec. Let's just look at the one cleat here. So the first thing we're going to look at today is the fit and comfort of the cleat. Couple good things to talk about first. You can see the lunar lawn here. That refers to the insole that is inside. The lunar lawn is what makes these incredibly comfortable. Bottom here on the midsole of the cleat, this section here, just a basic rubber midsole, so nothing really special. The entire inside of the cleat is completely covered in this really thick foam, so they're incredibly comfortable to wear. And you can also see here on the tongue on the back, we have this really big rubber piece that you can really hold on to help slip your foot in them. They're not hard to put on anyways, but it does help that is definitely not coming off. The one thing though that I do see here, which I didn't really like, is this tongue. I don't really like this style where it's like this hard tongue on here, so that's one thing I really didn't like about it. And also, even though they aren't made specifically for linemen, they do fit really wide feet well. I would just recommend staying with it, either true to size or going a half size down. Normally in Nike and Jordan, I wear a 12 and a half, or normally in Nike and Jordan, I wear 12 and a half. These, a 12 would have fit me perfectly. Another thing about these that also really relates itself to more of a lineman style cleat is the ankle heights here. So it actually goes up really nice and high on your ankle. Again, there's a ton of cushion up here, so you give a lot of support, and it supports it the whole way up and again. But now addressing, it's really good that they have this whole leather outside and all this foam and that kind of thing. But the problem is you see these little holes here around it, all these little perforations. That's really the only ventilation these cleats have, so they are incredibly, incredibly hot to wear. Especially because the ones I have are all black. They absorb a lot of sunlight, and so your feet do get very, very hot in these cleats. So overall for these cleats, like I said, the only really issue with these is the ventilation on them. So I'm going to give these a 9 out of 10 for my fit and comfort. All right, so the next one we're going to get into here is the weight of the cleat. So there's really nothing in this cleat that they're trying to make it lighter in any way. You have a full leather outside. It is packed with foam. The bottom of the cleat here is just a rubber midsole and then a plastic outer sole here, so there's no way, they don't have like zoom in it or the carbon fiber on the bottom of them to make them lighter in any way. So these are a pretty heavy cleat, which can be a good and bad thing. For linemen, it might be a little nicer to have a little heavy cleat. I don't prefer it. They're definitely not even close to as light as like the Force Savage Elites or anything like that. So for the weight, I'm only going to give it a 7 out of 10. Okay, the next category to go through is your durability. So they have a full leather outside. Everything on here is either printed in, sewn in, right? There's nothing screen printed. Even simple things like, the rubber piece on the back, it's completely sewn in, so it's not a fabric piece that'll rip or tear, anything like that. And on the bottom, with your cleat pattern here, right? It's none of these screw-in studs. I found the molded are really, really durable, so these should stay for a long time and really get the job done. So for your durability, I see nothing in the future wearing down, so I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. All right, the last category to go over is going to be the traction here. So it's nice that we actually can see the cleat pattern here. So yeah, it's very, very similar to the Lunar Beast style cleat. Around approaching the entire outside, we do have the molded cylinder style things, and they are all at the same length. Inside here, we have the talons. So that's made it so you can grip in the ground. A couple more talons on the back to really dig your heel in. And then approaching on the outside here, we have all these little spikes when you're trying to dig in the inside of your foot for, your kick steps. A couple things I would like to see in the future. I would like to see these convert to the Force Savage style where they are the triangle shape. They definitely dig in the ground a lot better. Although these little things are here, I don't really think they have a lot of purpose. They don't really do that much. Again, I can't compare it though because I don't have another pair of these cleats that doesn't have those on it, so it's hard to compare. So with this cleat pattern, just by seeing the talons and the length of the studs, this is definitely more of a sprinter style cleat, and it makes sense. You see Earl Thomas being a safety wearing it, you see Des Bryant wearing these, so it's more of a skill position cleat where you have a little more of the high ankle support just in case you're jumping in the air and that kind of thing. So that all makes sense. So for your traction, in the past I would have rated it a little higher, maybe an 8.59, but just because of all the advancements that Lyman cleats have recently made, I'm going to drop it down to an 8 just because there's so many other better ones on the market. But so I would definitely recommend these cleats for maybe more of the outside stuff. So maybe more of like a tackle, tight end, defensive lineman, that would be pretty good. Anything like that, linebackers. I wouldn't recommend it as much for your centers and your guards. I think they would need a little higher ankle support, maybe a little bit bigger studs where you can really dig your foot in the ground. But having said that, if you do want to pick these up and you're not one of those positions, if you find your right size on eBay, you can get a smoking deal, 50, 70 bucks, something like that, opposed to buying the Force Savages, which are 105 on sale, regular 140, so it kind of depends there. So there you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed today's review. Again, I will link 309 Customs down below. He actually does like really affordable prices as far as custom cleats go for, some other people out there, so that's not a bad thing. If you guys like today's video, don't forget to hit that like button. It actually really helps me out. 2 videos a week. Don't forget to subscribe. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and as always, thanks.